Today I'll be doing a presentation on the Julia Creek Dunnart. So this is the Julia Creek Dunnart here. He's a small carnivorous marsupial endemic to Queensland. I think he's very cute. He is something that will try to kill you. He won't be able to, but he will try. So the scientific name of the Julia Creek Dunnart is Sphinthopsis douglasii. It is a desert. They burrow underground and they live in the cracks in the clay. They get up to 25 centimeters long and they are characterized by their tan fur and a distinct facial stripe. Other Dunnarts in their distribution either have gray fur or no facial stripe, distinguishing them from other species. The Julia Creek Dunnart is the largest Dunnart species, and Dunnarts are nocturnal. So this is the distribution map of the Julia Creek Dunnart. They live in the cracking clay soils of the Mitchell Grass Downs bioregion, which on this map you can see as the grey area. So Julia Creek Dunnarts are found from Julia Creek across to Hughenden and down to around Winton. They prefer the ashy downs and Mitchell Grass Downs land types that are found on the Mitchell Grass Downs bioregion. This is where there's the most cracking clays that suit them. The females are highly territorial and the males roam to find females during the breeding season. Distribution of this species is not fully understood, even though the species was first discovered in the 1970s. They are known to have low population numbers and their distribution is quite patchy. So it's quite hard to get an accurate reading on them sometimes. They also suffer from boom and bust cycles. So in periods of good food and good rain, there will be a lot of Dunnarts, and then in times of drought, there will be very low numbers of Dunnarts. So this is a map downloaded from ALA, the Atlas of Living Australia. The darker areas are the known sightings of Julia Creek Dunnarts. As you can see, there aren't too many. And the lighter area is the area they're expected to occur, even though they have not been verified in these more southern areas here. So this is a carnivorous species. It is mostly insectivorous. Their preferred prey are silverfish, cockroaches, and crickets, but they will also take planigales if available. This here is a planigale. He's quite tiny. This guy weighs less than 1 gram. So they get all their water requirements from their food, so they don't need to stay near a water source. There are many threats to the Julia Creek Dunnarts. The predominant threat is feral cats. As you can see in this photo from the ABC, Dunnarts are the perfect prey size for feral cats. Foxes used to be a major issue, but since the collapse of the wool industry in the area and the farmers converting to beef cattle, foxes have been less of a threat, but they are still significant. Humans are a large threat, especially when it comes to altering the landscape. The construction of roads and houses can cause lots of damage to the Dunnart habitat, as well as the construction of mines. But a major issue is the alteration of the landscape through the introduction of weeds, such as this prickly acacia tree over here. It's a major issue in the area. Many millions of dollars have been thrown at eradicating it. It's still a huge issue, as Julia Creek is predominantly a grassland area. Pretty much the only tree that you see in Julia Creek is the prickly acacia tree, and you shouldn't see any. Floods are also a big issue. As you can imagine, they close up the burrows and make it hard for the Dunnarts to get around, and can also drown the Dunnarts. Rats also compete with the Dunnarts for food. It's currently a rat plague in northwest Queensland. So there are thousands upon thousands of rats everywhere you go. These are native rats, not introduced rats. And they eat all the insects that the Dunnarts would normally eat. And these rats are incredibly fat as well because they will eat anything, including cars, parts of houses, literally anything. The cattle industry also is a major threat because of the heavy intensive grazing of cattle in the area. The soil is compacted and it causes quite a bit of damage to the burrows underneath the cattle's feet. So Dunnarts are polyestrous, which means they can have multiple breeding cycles within a season. Their breeding season is from August to March, and they have a 13 to 16-day pregnancy with up to 8 young weaned after 70 days. And they can breed for 2 seasons. Females can be sexually mature at as young as 13 weeks, while males require up to 40 weeks to become mature. So there is some current work going on Julia Creek Dunnart. QUT and UQ have continuous studies. UQ has been coming to the area on and off for about 10 years. And QUT have been doing quite a few studies since the 90s. Southern Gulf NRM also has a small project going, and this is in conjunction with the QUT project. The focus of these projects is to find new populations as well as verify the existence of old populations. And this is done through the use of camera traps and Elliott traps, as shown over here. A bait is placed at the other end. This end is left open. And once a Dunnart walks in to investigate the bait, the trap closes on it. It then gets released the next morning without being harmed. So future research needs to go into monitoring the known populations and encouraging landholders to protect the Julia Creek Dunnart. Managing prickly acacia is essential. This is a major issue. Integrating stock breeds with habitat management is also important, as stock breeds are used to transport cattle between properties. This has an impact on the soil, and a correlation between water sources, predator abundance, and grazing impacts needs to be investigated. So there is an information centre in Julia Creek called At the Creek. It's a very good centre. It's where you would go to find out all the information you want to know about Julia Creek Dunnarts. You can also watch a feeding of a Julia Creek Dunnart every day at 2 p.m. We also have a lot of interactive videos that you can watch. If you're ever in Julia Creek, I recommend you check it out. So in closing, Dunnarts are very cute. But Julia Creek Dunnarts have a narrow distribution and low population numbers. They face a lot of threats, and more information is required on populations. Wean control must be a priority, as well as feral cat control, and more research is required on the species. Thank you.